Hey everybody, this is Jason Creel and you're watching The Lawn Care Life. I've got a question for you that I want you to really consider the answer to because it's a real life situation and then I want to tell you my thoughts on it. So here's the question. What would you do if your truck caught on fire? Now you may be thinking, what are you going to do in the moment? Well, you need to get away from the truck, call the fire department, put the fire out, you know, things like that. But I want to talk to you about some other aspects to this question. And would your business be able to survive such a tragedy? And this is a real life story because I'm going to show you pictures of a truck that just recently got smoked. Let's get started with that right now. Okay, so here's what happened. The other day I get a text message from a friend of mine in the lawn care business, and he says, "Hey, Jason, do you know anywhere I can buy a good used work truck?" And actually, I bought a used work truck not too long ago. I gave him a reference of somebody he could try. And I asked him, you know, why, or maybe he volunteered the information, I can't remember. But he said, my truck caught on fire. And I thought, oh, okay. And well, he went forward and sent me some pictures of his truck. I would love to see the actual video, but I've got some good pictures. Let me go ahead and show you those right now. So for one, I feel bad for my friend. He's down a truck and he's got to get going again with his lawn care business. But it made me stop and think, like, how disaster proof is my business and how disaster proof is your business? Because I would say your truck catching on fire, I mean, that's pretty much a disaster. Can you survive that? How long will you be down? And what is your backup plan? And so let's talk about that and what would you do in this situation, whether it be your truck or maybe your lawnmower catches on fire or gets stolen. You know, what's the situation, how you prepare for it, and I've got some practical thoughts and tips for you. All right, so I think there's a couple of camps here, and depending on the way you might think, but I've seen people that their strategy is you've got to have a backup for everything. Okay, so I've got a mower that I'm using, and then I've got my backup mower, and maybe you got a truck and you got a backup truck, and you got your handheld equipment, your blowers on it, and you got backup for everything. That is obviously great, especially in situations like this, but there's a cost with that. And I found, even in my own business, where I had two trucks and one of them really wasn't getting used that much, it was an added expense being able to pay the insurance on the truck and the equipment needed for that truck to be ready to go when I did need it, but it wasn't very productive. And so it just ultimately can cost you money. Now, it's a luxury to have in a situation like this. So there's that kind of one side of thought that you just have a backup ready for everything. Then there's what a lot of people do. They kind of operate with what they need and only what they need. And so, you know, let's say you're a one-man crew out there mowing lawn. You've got a truck, a trailer, a zero-turn mower, and you've got your handheld, you know, equipment, your string trimmer, edge, or blower, and that's what you have. And if something happens, you get it fixed, and it may keep you down a few days, or you go get another one, or whatever you got to do to get back up and running as quickly as possible. Well, that's obviously keeping your expenses as low as possible in many cases, which generates higher profits, but it leaves you vulnerable if you get in a situation like your truck catches on fire. Well, again, there's pros and cons of both. On the one end, if you got minimal stuff, you're maximizing your profits. On the other end, you're prepared. But here's my thoughts on both those situations, and I want to kind of suggest possibly a third solution that's kind of a in-between hybrid option, if you will. Okay, so to me, if you are a large company, when I say large, I mean, let's say you've got at least multiple trucks running and you've got employees that are counting on you, then at some point it does make sense to have some backup options, okay? Whether that be a mower, maybe you've got you could get by if one mower went down. Maybe you keep 2 or 3 mowers that you use on a regular basis, but if one went down, you're still not completely out. You can still go out there and do work while it takes you a while to get that one repaired. You know, now if you're solo and you might have a situation like that, and you know, you may just have to be down for a few days, and you could get caught back up if that happened to you once in a while. But the point being, the bigger you are, the more necessary it's going to be to have backup options, because if you got a larger business and you got employees and they literally don't have any equipment to work with, then not only are you down your equipment, I mean, it's really costing you productivity. And to be honest with you, a bigger company ought to be able to afford some of the backup equipment needed. But let me suggest a hybrid option that I have seen people use and I think works out great. Couple thoughts here. Sometimes when you buy a mower from a dealership, they will provide you a backup or a replacement mower if yours goes down for some reason. If it needs repair, then they will provide you a loaner mower. That might be a question that you have for your dealer before you purchase a mower, or maybe if you have a good relationship with your dealer and you know, send them business, or maybe you do a lot of repair work there. You say, hey, you know, I understand you don't have loaner mowers to give out to everyone, but if I'm going to be down for a week or so, do you have a mower that I can use? So that's one option. Same thing with string trimmer, things like that. You know, things like that are less expensive. Honestly, it doesn't cost that much to have an extra string trimmer on hand, you know, $300 or so, or you can even get a lesser one for $200 or $250, so that doesn't keep you down. But another option, and this is what I've used with some of my friends, if they've used it with me, but we may have sort of an agreement if you have friends in the lawn care business. So let's say my mower goes down, I need to put it in the shop, and you know somebody that has an extra one, then maybe they can let me borrow theirs, or even we partner up together to help us both get our lawns done for that week until I can get mine repaired. And vice versa. If they need something happens in their situation, then if I'm able to jump in and help them, then maybe they come work with me, and we ride in the same truck and we can get both our yards done. So sometimes the relationships you have, again, we're not all just enemies in the lawn business competing against each other cutthroat. Sometimes it helps to have relationships with your competitors so that you can help each other out. And same thing, you know, a blower goes down, string trimmer, edger, whatever, you have a way to get by. And people, sometimes I do these how to edge a lawn with a string trimmer videos, and it's inevitable sometimes that people leave that comment that I would never edge with a string trimmer. Well, hey, if your edger goes down and you don't know how to edge with a string trimmer, then you got to go get another edger or go get yours fixed. But if you can, you know, if it needs repaired and you got to order a part or something like that, if you know how to edge with your string trimmer, then that's just one less thing you got to worry about. And maybe practically speaking, we should all make sure we do have some emergency kits with us, both for safety, you know, first aid and things like that. But also, it might not be a bad idea to have a fire extinguisher on hand. I'm not exactly sure what happened with the truck that caught on fire and what caused the fire, but it is possible. I've told the story before. I almost caught a mower on fire my very first year in the lawn business. I was bagging leaves. The leaves were everywhere. They got on the hot muffler and started a small fire. Fortunately, there was some hand wipes in the truck, and I was able to take those damp hand wipes and put the fire out, because I was panicking because it was my first year in the lawn business. I thought I'm about to blow up my lawnmower at the very beginning. So anyway, I hope this video has been helpful, but let me hear from you. What have you had situations where you went down on equipment, and what do you do? Do you borrow equipment? Do you have a backup plan? Does your dealer help you out? I mean, what is your plan, or have you thought through that? And if you haven't, this would be a good time to do so. Appreciate you watching the video. I would encourage you to subscribe if you haven't done so, and I also encourage you to go over to lawncarelife.com and check out the resources available for you there, including the new one that I'm just about to release. It's not on there at this very moment, but it will be very soon. And that is the weed control and fertilization course that I have been working on for over a year, and it is done. I'm just putting the finishing touches on it. So appreciate you watching. Talk to you guys later. Bye.